Okay, I think I'm just going to go through my presentation here, because I think it will just A, be good practice, and B, cover everything that needs to be on here. So, my app is the Online Contract Acceptance app. Why am I doing this? For mobile functionality. Currently, the Online Contract Acceptance for continuing education is only done through the website, and while that's grateful, what happens is you have this much content on this much real estate, which is fine, until you try to put it on a smartphone, and then you only get this much of your screen. So this then leads to the problem of too much scrolling and too much pinching, and it's way too hard to see the actual contract, and they probably get lost trying to do it. So it's intended for the contracted employees of continuing education, and hopefully it will result in faster response times for contract signatures. How did I do it? I used Corona SDK. I learned a lot about Lua. I really am still shocked about the extent of how much I learned. And then the reason we use it was obviously for the cross-platform codability. And then there's also XML interaction, which again, I really never thought I would actually get to the point where I could do it and I could understand what it was doing and why it works or why it wasn't working, but I have actually gotten to that part. Once upon a time, I was supposed to do CAS authentication, but so flow and function, what will it look like? It's supposed to be part of the mobile app suite. Again, CAS authentication is in the future. Then here it is. So this is assuming someone's already logged in. View and sign my contract. Again, this is supposed to only pull the departments that they actually have pending contracts for, but I just wanted to show the extent of what this app could be. But the XML file that they gave me, instead of the vat of XML that they have here in Con Ed, was only the information from one EFY file, or EFY contract. So click on EFY, and this is actually taking this contract number out of the XML and putting it on the button. And here's where we have the XML beauty parsed and then coded into the Lua file. So then each checkbox requires that they read this, or at least it flashes past their mind or their eyes as they click yes. And then they're supposed to go through each one, and the wording of each clause is linked to each specific checkbox. So you can see as we go through, the wording changes because it's a different clause. In the future, if they actually intend to really use this section, this clause section, will have to be in a table, and it will have to be scrollable, because even though in evening classes we have 3, EFY obviously has a ton more, and apparently independent study has even more of that. And also for independent study, this section will also have to be scrollable, because some of their quote-unquote clauses are like pages long. And also for Campus Education Week, I didn't know these things until just today. So then it pulls the amount. I click accept. I hit sign the contract, and then it asks me if I'm sure. And I finally figured out a way to make the buttons look normal even after calling the iOS theme. And then we're done. Either sign another contract or sign out. So that's it. And then in the future, who knows, Con Ed might actually implement it and tie it to CAS and to their vat of XML, and then it'll be in use. As far as how I feel about what I learned, I think that's part of this assignment. I really never thought that I would actually get this far. I truly didn't even understand HTML before this. I'd seen it, like when I stumbled upon it in my blog, and occasionally I was smart enough to change some things or remove a BR in something that had already been there, but I didn't even know what I was doing. And so I feel like I've come a long way